The big problem here does not involve people who grew up in working class or middle class backgrounds. You can have gotten your duplex in Park Avenue and been living there for years, but if you grew up in a working class family in Topeka, Kansas, you still remember what it's like. The problem is the kids. The problem is the next generation who's been born into that kind of affluence and that new elite culture. They've gone to terrific private schools where the dumbest kid in the class was probably in the 80th percentile of the national IQ distribution. They have then gone on to really good colleges. In the summers, when they didn't go out and get jobs in a farm or working at Walmart, they got internships at AEI or Brookings or places like that. Internships being affirmative action for the rich when you stop to think about it. Who can afford internships? The only people who can afford internships are students who don't need to worry about how to pay for college. And then they go from there to graduate school and into careers that leave them with enormous influence over other people who they do not understand, whose priorities they do not understand. And the problem with that is they make mistakes. They do things thinking they are doing good, having no idea what the consequences of what they are doing are for the civic culture that has made the United States exceptional. And that leads me to my conclusion, because it is that civic culture that I treasure. It is a civic culture which started with the premise that people can be left alone to live their lives as they see fit, solving their problems in their lives by themselves and in collaboration with their neighbors. That civic culture, that premise produced a civic culture in this country over the first 2 centuries of its existence, which was unique in all the world. And it wasn't just Americans who said so. Foreign observers from Tocqueville on, they were the ones who noticed it the most. It wasn't perfect. We had lots of problems, starting with the original sin of slavery that we permitted. But it got better and better as time went on. It is that civic culture that is starting to unravel. And that leads me to the statement that I began my remarks with, that it has got to be the new upper class that thinks differently about how to live their lives.